Hello everybody, Joan Nielsen here. I want to talk to you for a moment about optimist and pessimist because we get so stuck sometimes on being pessimistic. We don't want to see things of what they can be. Instead, we want to see things the way they've always been. We live there. We live there. This is our reality, right? Reality and imagination, okay? We get stuck in a pessimistic state that we forget that we could be optimistic and we could see that the clouds are going to move away and we're going to have a beautiful sky. There's a cloud there, but eventually he's going to move and make the beautiful sky. You know, yes, some things always stay the same. Like in the fall, my leaves go beautiful colors, but not always, right? Because we've had such a long summer, a really hot summer, which we don't normally have. Things change, right? And you never know what's going to happen. So for a pessimist really always thinks of the negative. It's always going to be the same. The glass is always half empty instead of half full. They don't look to the point of that it could be half full and not half empty, right? They don't look to the fact that things do change, and just because it was like that before doesn't mean it's always going to stay like that. Just because you're broke now doesn't mean you're always going to be broke. Just because it's always been like this for a year or 2 years or whatever doesn't mean it's always going to be like that. You can choose to change from a pessimist to an optimist. Yes, I know. We've probably grown up with it. We've probably heard it from every single person we've ever known. But you don't have to be like that. You could decide that your reality is different. You could choose to think differently. You could choose to be more imaginative and more creative and spend time there, focusing on how much fun it could actually be. Say you get some magic money. I mean, are you really going to think that you wouldn't be able to go on a trip somewhere? No, because you've got this money, right? But if you don't have it already and you've never had surprise magic money or you've never had that situation come, you can't experience it. So you're going to say that's not going to happen. It never happens to me or whatever it is, right? Instead of being an optimistic and saying, you know what? Things happen, things change, things can happen like that, and that could happen for me, and I'm going to focus more on that. Instead, we'll have friends or family who will tell us, no, you've never had that happen, this won't happen for you. And even though they're not meaning to be, but they're putting a damper on it, right? Because then it's putting thoughts back into your head about being a pessimist, about being in reality and not getting to the point where you want to be, not getting to where you want to be, because you start doubting yourself. You stop all the creative stuff because you're so stuck and focused on what you think you should be doing, because you're in reality. Instead of being the imaginative creator that you actually are, you could get yourself out of any situation just by deciding to be optimist, to open up your creative mind, to open up your imagination, and to allow those juices flowing again, to see things as capable of happening, to be limitless, to be unstoppable. Once you start, nothing can stop you, but you have to get rid of those voices. You have to get rid of those thought processes, that fear thought process, that doubt thought process, that negative gnawing at the back of your head that's constantly going. That could be your mother, it could be your father, it could be your aunt, uncle, friends, whoever. And you could be afraid to take that next step of faith or of knowing, because what if you fail? And I'm going to tell you something. What if you don't? You've already failed by not doing it. But what if you succeed? What if, even if you fall, you're learning something new? You get back up and you do it again. And you just keep going until you get to that spot that you really want to be. So stop being a pessimist. Start being an optimist. Stop being a realist. Start being imaginative. Be creative. Get yourself to where you want to be and stop listening to everybody else, because you are so worth it. And it's the only way to get you where you want to be. Make an amazing day, everybody.